All right, everybody. So this is a really, really good sign, what we're seeing across the markets. I'm here for a quick video update. We've been sideways for a long time. If you look at this range right here, I'm just on Zcash, for instance, but I'll show you a lot of coins today. I mean, this is a 2-month range where, we really haven't moved up or down significantly. You could see April 19th down here. You could see April 19th, right? April 19th, we were, at about $49. 64 days later over here on June 20th, we're at about, $51. So this is what you would call a range, right? You've got, you've got some moves to the downside, you got some moves to the upside, but overall, you're basically in a very tight range between these two prices. But what we're seeing today is finally, you're seeing lots of volume, which you want to see relative, right, to the past, few days, or to this past range, right? Last time we had this much volume was over here when we broke out. So we're seeing, right here, their little congestion area right here, which was this volume point of control, all right there. We're seeing a really, really nice break. Again, we have the 20-day moving average, which is this white moving average right there. 20-day is above the 50-day, which is above the 200-day. This is the start, really the birth of this entire new nice trend. You see momentum after this big sell-off here, Black Thursday. Momentum completely floored and slowly but surely started to recharge. And now the momentum traders are about to come here and jump in as we see this. If we zoom in here, I mean, that is, the start. That's a very, very bullish move right here. We have a nice moving average crossover, really high time frame momentum. We're looking good. So Zcash, we've been talking about it for a long time. It's part of the model portfolio. We were really waiting to get a nice clear out of that $55 range. And it looks like we did it with some authority. So bulls are on parade here in Zcash. Let's hop on over to Atom USDT. We're seeing very similar action here. Not as, the breakout, we didn't break out above this. We've had a much wider range in this one, but you can still see, look at that volume, right? This momentum is slowly starting to turn around, but I'm expecting to see far higher prices in Atom here in the near term. Again, this is one coin that has been heavily discounted relative to the rest of the market. This is where a lot of the panic hit this one hard because there was some management confusion, a little bit of FUD when one of the founders of the project left. People spread a lot of FUD, but it wasn't him leaving. It was him going to a different aspect of the company, still building. So we're really looking to attack this 200-day moving average, which also kind of coincides with the top of this range right here, So, that's the range that we've been in right here for quite some time, accumulated a crap ton of volume right here, and you see a perfect bounce, right? A swing failure pattern right here at the midpoint. Really excited about where Atom could go in the near term. It's going to take a little bit more time, but I loved seeing that volume right there. So Atom still very, whoops, what just happened? Still, let's see, whoops. There we go. Sorry about that. Still very long on Atom. Look at Tezos. That's another great coin. This is one that's been, we had this picture-perfect swing fail pattern right here. Boom. Accumulated a great amount of volume, as you could see. But again, we've been in this range, similar to like Zcash, for instance. This price at, 230, 250, right around here. Same price it's been for, 62 days. But again, that's a lot of volume right there. See, and again, we're slowly starting to see this volume start to pick up, momentum starting to turn around. So this is a good position if you're in Tezos to be buying and holding. Basically this move right here was trying to tempt a lot of shorters. They saw price falling. They're like, oh, let's go ahead, retest this average here to short down to target lower levels with a lot of volume. But you could clearly see buyers showed their strength. Buyers are in control. Another one that's not in the model portfolio particularly, but I'm a personal big fan of. I like Ethereum. It's just they have the Ethereum 2.0 protocol rebuild that's coming up, and it might have some confusion, but I'm still a big fan of Ethereum, both price action wise, both what it does for the space, both all the investors that are in it. A lot of smart money's in Ethereum, and you could see it actually is it had this range right here, and then broke out above that range and sustained this resistance, which became support. So now it set a new range. This is a very, very bullish price action. Again, I posted something on June 18th about this stop run or swing failure pattern, whatever you want to call it. You can kind of call it the same thing, a stop run where most people are playing a range. They set their stops below their stop losses below those local lows right there, and then boom, you engineer some liquidity. Big money could get in right here, as you can see, a lot of volume. So we're seeing momentum turn to the upside, which is really good. Seeing some more volume start to creep in. You're seeing another thing that's really interesting here is that you're not giving back really any gains, right? So you could measure a bull market by how much the asset gives back in gains, meaning you don't want to see a lot of retraces. And right here you can see there's very little retrace, and this has been going on for 1, 2, 3. That's 1 day. 1, 2, 3. That's 2 days. So this has been 2 days of price action of almost straight up with very, very, very little retrace. So, and again, you see that volume point of control right here. That's a really good sign. We're just steady right there. And once we break out, these B bands, the Bollinger Bands, volatility bands, these are going to explode, kind of like how you see this pattern right here. As price moves, these things will open up, and you'll see a lot of excitement in Ethereum. I'm very excited about where that could go in the near term. Bitcoin, US dollar, very similar structure actually as Ethereum. But we've had a long range right here. This one's 52 days, and what I'm looking for here is again these B bands. I don't think they're going to hold much resistance right there. If price does come back down to the low 9Ks, that's a screaming buy for me. But realistically, I could see us come back to test, as I talked about in the newsletter this morning, test this volume point of control around 94.70, which also coincides with the 20-day moving average and also coincides here with the 50-day moving average. But again, you're in a really, really good position here. But long term, you still have this really, really tough resistance. You see this one right here. Really tough resistance around 9,400 that has held us for quite some time. This is going all the way back to October of 2019, all the way back up here literally to September 2019. You could even go further back. Beginning of September 19, price has not been able to break above those levels. But again, this flush out right here, high volume flush out, big changeover in positions, reset the momentum, long time frame, right? And then again, Fed starts printing here, big time in mid-April, and you're in a sustained uptrend. And then again, this is one of these coins, Bitcoin. It's really the biggest. It's the first. It is, in my opinion, the most secure, and what the Bitcoin market does, so goes the rest of the market. There's a very popular saying in the stock market where it's like, so goes Apple, so goes the market, because Apple, is one of the biggest. It might be the biggest company actually by market capitalization, either that or Amazon or Microsoft. Those three are always kind of jockeying for number one. But in the crypto markets, you have Bitcoin right now, which you can't really have a massive bull market and alt season, right? Altcoin season, when everything is pumping indiscriminately across the board, unless Bitcoin is in a full raging bull market. And what I really like about this chart, if I zoom out, is this is my 200-day moving average, right? My 200-day moving average, and then boom, that's a bear market right there. Boom. right, as we finally, confirm this downtrend. It takes a long time to really flip that positive. But guys, now the 200 is positive, and we're gonna see a nice sustained trend, something that's gonna look like that. Price, might jockey around through here, accumulate some more volume. As you can see, all these little sharp support zones right there. Those are what we look for, when we're looking for where's support. It's pretty easy, right there, right there. That's how we find our support levels and our buy zones. The higher the support zone, right? 8,900 or 8,800 is higher than 8,100, which is higher than about 7,300. This is going to be a more aggressive buy zone, and this is going to be a more more conservative buy zone. And in a bull market, the conservative buy zones very rarely get hit, right? A bull market is measured by how deep those retraces really are. And you want to not have deep retraces, right? Everybody panics and gets freaked out when there's those deep retraces. So, your odds are looking really good here for aggressive buy zones to be hit, but conservative buy zones, I don't think that those will be getting hit anytime soon. And these B bands are really, really tight. Really tight. That means volatility has just died down so much, relative to the past 20 days. And these are 20-day Bollinger Bands. So relative to the last 20 days, these two Bollinger Bands have what it is, it's a confidence interval. So it says we have 95% confidence based on the past 20 days that price will stay within these two bands. Because in the past 20 days, 95% of price action has stayed within these bands. And so you can see it exited out the band right here. That acted as some resistance. But you can see as we go in these big uptrends, you see how these things flare out. That's what we're going to be looking for. We're going to be looking for some flare. What else am I looking at? I was looking at, Cardano earlier this morning. Again, looking really strong. You see this beautiful, beautiful pattern. Big trend, flare out, quick consolidation. Boom. Market consolidates, accumulating a good amount of volume right there. We need to see this volume, paint something like this. And that should be coming here pretty soon, especially as momentum, reset down here. It had some bullish crossovers above the 50 line right there. So I'm looking for some really significant price movements here, especially considering, we took out this long-term resistance, and that acted as support, right? You can see very, very quickly the market, found resistance, broke above it, and found support. So, again, guys, very, very important to be above the 20-day moving average, 50-day moving average, 200-day moving average. Got lots of volume support down here. You can tell lots of buyers came in the market. Really the last place we're looking for, some serious resistance is going to be, here's 12.5 cents right here. And it's really, 11 cents is right here. So I'm not 100% saying that Cardano is going to go start to break above these levels yet. These are some serious resistance levels that we need to be considerate of. But what I am excited about is for when we do have a spike above, and we could consolidate here for maybe a few weeks and make some higher highs near this resistance, flag out. And then go and attack, far higher resistance levels around 40 cents. But it is looking very good. We have some really strong momentum. Really excited about what Cardano is doing. And what else were we looking at this morning? Link. That was it. Link USD. On Binance, again, you're going to see great volume. Look at that. Whew. That's a beauty. That's truly a beauty. I mean, we have been ranging right here. We talked about this very bullish range right here. And another little, let me clear out of all this here. I'm talking about, this kind of like ascending channel. It looked really, really bullish, and we're breaking out right now, as you can see. And this is coming close to your all-time highs. I mean, this is very bullish. You guys should definitely have a nice little bag of Link. I personally don't have enough. in my opinion. But we're having a nice volume, great momentum, very bullish. But again, all-time highs offer resistance, so expect some volatility. There might be some retraces. You might come back and test this, $4.30, $4.25 20-day moving average. It wouldn't be surprised, right? And again, right now, you are above the Bollinger Band. Historically, it's in trends, prices go very this is a trend, right? It stays below the Bollinger Bands for a long time. This has been a very tight consolidation range, and we've accumulated good volume. These are all the things we're looking for. But what I'm saying here is price is strongly at resistance. So again, it's a higher risk trade until we really break above this resistance. I want to see a big spike above, boom, and then consolidate and wait, right? Time the trade and then go on a good setup. We are at some resistance, but again, I think that this resistance, personally, is going to fall, very, very easily, like a hot knife through, warm butter, essentially, just because of how bullish the entire market is. But all I'm saying is don't go and rush in market buy because it feels like it's going up immediately. Go ahead and set a bid. Set a bid even right down here, maybe around 450. Set a more conservative bid near the 20-day moving average around 430. Be patient. Add liquidity to the market. Don't just market buy randomly and just think that it's about to break its all-time high, because there will be lots of volatility here. And those are some of the main coins that we've been looking at here. So I hope that market update was helpful. You just see how we're looking at the markets, right? We're always just keeping an eye out for volume. And I told you guys in the newsletter, I was like, I'm waiting for volume. And this is the start of what we're looking for. Always looking for momentum to stay above this 50 line, right? That 50 line right there is, when we get bounces right there, it is very important to note. So guys, I'm really excited about where we're at here with Chainlink, with Tezos, with Atom, with Zcash, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these things. Leave some questions in the comment. Cardano, he's been doing really well. But yeah, leave some questions in the comments. Let us know what you guys are in and how things are going for you guys.